Hi guys, decided to do this quick video just to run you by some IEMs that I have been listening over the last couple of weeks, and some IEMs that I still haven't opened up and still haven't listened to them, but that I will be listening to them, and the reviews are imminent. So I just thought it'd be interesting to just run by a few of them quickly, and so kind of prepare you guys. What do I have here? I've got here the HISENIOR Kano Cristales 2 plus a 2 plus 8, so it's got two DDs in a quasi isobaric configuration, 8 BAs. It's got a textile kind of tuning, and it's I wouldn't say their flagship because it's priced at around $400, but I would say it's their best IEM, bar the Mega 5 EST in its various versions. We've had a couple of versions now. Um, my first quick impressions are very nicely done bass. It's definitely gonna satisfy those of you looking for bass, and well done bass, without a doubt. um, I would say that in terms of the mids, upper mids, and treble, they are a little bit sensitive, and so a little bit of tip rolling will be needed, will be required. But once you are able to get that proper tip that fits you nicely, it does strike a nice balance between the bass and the mids and the upper mids. um, if not, if you don't strike that balance or of the right tip, then the upper mids can sound a little bit forward, a little bit too intense. When you listen to something like, for example, the QE is the Astral, you do kind of have a similar sort of vibe in terms of sound, but I would say that in that aspect, the Astral, perhaps, at least in my in this the first impressions, is perhaps a little bit more well balanced. Yes, it doesn't have the bass that the Kano Cristales has, but it might come across a little bit more well balanced. But then, like I said, this is just first impressions. Overall, I'm happy with the performance of the Kano Cristales. I was able to find the tip that actually works well with me, and that did enable me to get that balance that I was talking about between that pin gain being a little bit too intense or a little bit too forward, and the rest of the frequency range. The other one that I've got here is the Punch Audio Martilo. This is a tribrid. It's also got two BAs, two DDs, for the lower end, and it's definitely the lower end, the star of the show. That's the name. We're talking about a 14 dB gain of bass there. I mean, phenomenal bass. Let's make that perfectly clear. I would say the Martilo and the Kano Cristales, they both have a very kind of similar bass performance. To be honest with you, it was actually quite a surprise, because I wasn't expecting it to be totally honest. They kind of share the same, almost same sort of bass gain. But here on the Martillo, the mids and the upper mids and the treble are then more tamed down as compared to the Kano Cristales, and that then does make it easier to find an IEM, the tip that will work well with you, because always kind of the emphasis will be on the bass. And as such, it will be more of a question of finding a tip that maybe will open up a little bit more the upper frequencies, as contrary to what happened here on the Kano Cristales. But again, like I just said, this is just first impressions that I've been listening to them very kind of on and off. I've been focusing on other IEM, so I don't want to kind of make it too much of a rushed decision. I kind of compared it to the CK2V from Sligo, from CKLVX, because they kind of have a similarish type of graph with that tucked style bass as well, and they also have the same sort of configuration of BAs, microplanars, and DDs, although it's just a single DD. But you know, if there is a certain similarity in the sound, that similarity is very quickly dissipated once you hear the amount of bass that the Martilo is capable of. Okay, so that's another. And then here the third IEM here that I've kind of been listening to over the last couple of days is the Ziggette Luna, an all BA IEM, I believe the first one from Ziggette. 6 BA is a mix of Sonians and Knolls, from what I understand. And immediately what jumped to mind when I was listening to it was I was listening to something along the lines of the Duno, the SA6 MK2, which I've got here. I was listening to something along the lines of the Supernova from Seventh Acoustics, and yes, it's exactly that. I would say that considering the price that the Luna is at, it makes it a very solid alternative to those other two. Yes, the Supernova does have its advantages, if you want to call it that way. The SA6 as well, I guess you could say it also has its advantages, but the overall balance that is struck here on the Luna, and considering it's an all BA IM, was very impressive, to say the least. You know, when you find an all BA IM, especially at this price point, which is under the $500 price bracket, that is capable of this sort of performance, this sort of balance, because the difficulty is not, it's never really in the mids, or let's say the upper mid bass, the mids, the upper mids and treble. The difficulty with BAs, it's always in the lower registers, in the low bass, how low they can really go, how visceral they can really feel. And although it's a long shot to be calling it visceral, because obviously, you know, if you listen to something like the Martilo and you straight away put on the Lunas, this is far from visceral. But the reality is it's pretty impressive, and it does have some really good low bass performance. That's the reality. I was very impressed with how balanced, how incredibly musical, and devoid of that typical BA timbre the Luna was. So definitely expect a nice review for this one. The other ones that I've got here that I will be reviewing is the ZIIGAAT, the QUTG, which has got that new driver that they've developed, which is a flat driver. I've got here the Keyfine Quattro, the 2+2 as well. I have got here as well the Tristura, the wood note, again unique because it's using a different driver, let's put it that way. I've got here the Fission from Tanstrom, which I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Apparently it uses the same driver as the Origin. I've got here something that I don't think many more have talked about, which is the HC Sound, the Ginkgo, which is a 2DD from them. And finally, I've also got here the K9 from EPZ, their 1+8. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. I've got some really nice IEMs to listen to review, to test. So keep yourselves posted, and I'll do my very best to get these reviews out, or at least some of them out this week. If nothing else, at least these 3 will definitely be out this week, and the others I'm going to try and do my best to have them out shortly after that. All right, you take care now. Bye bye.